Good morning, everyone. I want to thank our news media for joining us this morning. Obviously, our chamber members who have remained here to hear this exciting news, and Newberry Hall, who has generously let us use their facility for this press conference. This is the first press conference we've called in the year that I've been mayor. But in an effort for even further transparency in your city government, is our hope that we'll have these on a regular basis, as there is news that we feel citizens deserve to know. Let me begin by stating that I am proud to stand with these council members who are with me today. They are public servants that set the policy and direction of our city. One of the main tools that council has of setting priorities for the upcoming year is through the budget process. This year, as many of you know, this council worked tirelessly with our staff, working through our annual budget. The Aiken City Council made it a priority of fiscal accountability and transparency. Today, we are pleased to report that the Government Finance Officers Association, the premier national organization supporting and regulating government finance professionals and departments in the United States, has awarded the City of Aiken with the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for its budget of the year beginning July 1st, 2016. Absolutely. Thank you. Now, I do not want to stand here taking credit for this prestigious award. City Council may have issued the challenge, but it was City Manager John Klimm and Director of Finance Kim Abney and her Finance Department team that not only accepted the challenge of examining and changing the budgeting system that has been used in the Aiken City government since 1955, but if I might say, they hit the challenge out of the park. At John's direction, the Finance Department replaced our system with a process preferred by the most efficient and transparent government offices in the United States. John, Kim, and her team worked diligently to achieve this level of professionalism in their first effort, and I know they're already at work improving on those results. Congratulations, John, from all of council. We recognize the work and commitment that went into this budget from you, your staff, and we are grateful. Thank you, John. Where is he? We will hear from John and Kim later, but at this time I would like to ask Ms. Angela Gunter if she would come forward. She is a representative of the Government Finance Officers Association, and if she would, I'd like for her to say a few words. Ms. Gunter, we are pleased to have you with us today. Thank you for being here. On those bars, you got it.
As he said, I'm Angela Gunter, and I'm a former board member with the Government Finance Officers Association of South Carolina. I'm here on the behalf of the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada to present this Distinguished Budget Presentation Award to the City of Aiken for its budget for the year beginning July 1st, 2016. The city's budget has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the GFOA program, including 14 mandatory criteria within 4 broad categories. The guidelines are designed to assess how well an entity's budget serves as a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications device. GFOA established this award in 1984 to encourage and assist state and local governments to prepare budget documents of the very highest quality that reflect both the guidelines established by the National Advisory Council on state and local budgeting and the GFOA's best practices on budgeting, and then to recognize the individual governments that succeed in achieving that goal. Documents submitted to the Budget Awards Program are reviewed by selected members of GFOA professional staff and by outside reviewers with experience in public sector budgeting. In South Carolina, Aiken is the 10th municipality out of 269 to be awarded this distinction. Less than 4% of South Carolina municipalities and less than 2% of all local governments in the United States earn this Distinguished Budget Award. The completely redesigned budget replaces the model that the city has used since 1955. Collaboration across all the departments made this feat possible. Led by the city manager's office, the finance department worked with each city department to combine the information into a usable communication tool for city council, citizens, and staff. I'm honored to present the City of Aiken this prestigious award for their hard work and diligence. And again, I wanted to add, this is the first time they put in for this award and got it on the first try.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Angela, thank you. It's an honor to accept this on behalf of the City of Aiken, our council and staff. And we're going to be coming for more of them. At this time, I'd like to ask our Director of Finance, Kim Abney, if she'd like to say a few words about this award and what it means to her and our city. And she will be followed by our City Manager, Mr. John Klimm. Ms. Abney?
Thank you. This was a tremendous undertaking, but it could not have been done without the leadership of our City Manager, John Klimm, our Assistant City Manager, Stuart Biedenbow, teamwork from all the department directors, and support from City Council, of course. I would like to recognize my staff that was instrumental in the preparation of this document. I have Summer Gagnon, who is recently a certified government finance officer, Annette Bracco, our special projects accountant, and Kimberly Wheat, also a certified government finance officer. Lex Kirkland of our City Manager's office, Sarah Rideout from the City Manager's office, and Wes Funderburk from our IT department, who couldn't be here this morning, also provided valuable assistance in pulling together all the pictures and information that we used in the document. Erica Sanders, who unfortunately could not be here this morning either, helped us with the verbiage so that it was clear and understandable, not strictly accounting terminology. The standards of the Government Finance Officers Association are rigorous, and we strive to meet the mandatory requirements in the first year. But we will continue to enhance the document and build upon this initial success. This budget will not look like it in 55 years, the same as it does today. We will continue to improve and evolve as a communication tool for our council, our citizens, and the staff. Thank you.
And now I'd like to turn it over to our City Manager, Mr. John Klimm.
Thank you, Mayor, and good morning to all of you. I would like to conclude this conference by first saying how honored I am to work with and for a city council who has made reforming the financial structure of the city the highest priority. They knew that our 1950s incremental style operational budget was confusing, lacking transparency and accountability, and they directed us immediately to change it. We held numerous workshops where council members rolled up their sleeves to work with us to redesign our budget package. It was a monumental undertaking in the short period of time we had to get the job done. An operational budget format that can be traced back for decades, and the lack of a real long-range financial plan and a real capital plan to take care of our infrastructure, which we are now working on. I also must say how proud I am of our interdisciplinary staff team that was assembled to work for months on this project. Finance Director Abney, Assistant City Manager Biedenbow, and the entire team did an extraordinary job, and it is an honor working with these true professionals. I am proud that the City of Aiken is one of only 10 communities in our state to receive this honor. Our commitment to you, the citizens and taxpayers of our city, and to our City Council, is that we will continue over the next few years to continue to improve our budgetary and financial process. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation, but if there are questions about this award for council or staff, we open the floor from it this time. Yes, sir. Marty?
If you had to capsulize the meaning of this award to Aiken and the surroundings, would you say it's smoke-free transparency in budgeting?
You can quote me on that, Marty.
Well, if you
Yeah,
say the
no.
words, they can quote you.
Absolutely. This is a step not only towards transparency, but just good, sound government. The budget process really is the tool that we use to give direction and priorities through the year. And this budget process, I can tell you, council worked diligently through this process and made some tough decisions, but it really set what I think is a positive and right direction for our city.
What
Yeah,
was the
Tony.
motivating factor? What was the one thing that flipped the switch on this happening now?
I mean, I think Aiken is at a crossroads. We've all said that in the last year and a half, 2 years. And moving forward, as we looked at an antiquated budget process, this really gives us an opportunity to move forward. And there were a lot of things that not only just a lack of transparency, it wasn't an intentional thing, but we knew we could do better. And I think staff really wanted this. Council had directed it. I know the council members have been talking this, but before I was up there, this was already in place, and certainly I encouraged it as well. But I think it's just a time for Aiken. Aiken, everyone say is a place where we're moving forward, and this is a part of that process and an important one.
But there wasn't one thing that motivated this decision at this point in time. It was just a sea change of thinking?
It's just to better serve our citizens, I think. I mean, I'll let other council.
It was time for it.
It was time
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah, Dick. I'll let Dick Dewar.
It was
answer.
time for a change. It was very critical when we interviewed for the new city manager. We wanted to make sure that he understood our commitment for a new budget. And most importantly, it's our communication with the citizens. It's their money. They need to know how it's spent and what it's spent on. But it was a commitment on the part of the entire council when we hired John Klimm to come in as city manager. This was a change that needed to be made.
Thank you. Any other questions about?
Dick speaks, that ends all the questions.
Thank you so much for being here. We know your time is of value, and we appreciate you giving it to us this morning. Thank you for that.